For the best experience, please use headphones or listen in a quiet environment. Unlock the secrets to meaningful relationships. Transform your connections today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about one of the most profound and complex aspects of being human: relationships and connections. If there's one thing we all desire, it's love, understanding, and a sense of belonging. But why do relationships carry so much weight in our lives? Why do they have the power to lift us to unimaginable heights or bring us to our knees? The nature of love and its power. Let me start by asking you this. Have you ever felt so deeply connected to someone that it seemed like time stood still? Love is not just an emotion. It's a force, a driving energy that can transform our lives. It's what gives us the strength to endure hardships and the courage to chase dreams. Rumi once said, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." Think about that. What if love isn't something external we're searching for, but something within us waiting to be unleashed? Love is not about finding someone to fill a void. It's about discovering the fullness already within you and sharing it. Love is powerful because it reflects our deepest desire: to be seen, heard, and valued. When we feel loved, we feel invincible. And when we give love, we create a ripple effect that transforms not just one life, but countless lives. So here's your first action item. Examine the barriers you've built against love. Are they fear, past wounds, or pride? Identify them and begin to dismantle them. C.S. Lewis wrote, "To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything, and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give it to no one, not even an animal." This quote reminds us that love requires courage. It demands that we risk pain for the chance of joy and connection. Aristotle believed that love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. This idea speaks to the depth of connection love brings, a sense of unity and belonging that transcends individuality. To love is to see yourself in another, and to nurture that bond with mutual respect and care. Another action item. Take a moment today to reflect on the people you've loved and lost. Write down what those relationships taught you and how they shaped you. Use those lessons to approach current and future relationships with courage and openness. Building deeper, more meaningful connections. Now let's talk about connections. How many of your relationships truly feed your soul? And how many are merely surface-level interactions? Here's the truth. Deep connections require vulnerability. And I know, being vulnerable can feel terrifying. But Brené Brown reminds us, vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. Without vulnerability, we're just skimming the surface. So how do we build deeper connections? Here are a few strategies. 1. Listen to understand, not to reply. Most people are waiting for their turn to speak. Be different. Be the person who listens with their whole heart. Listening is not passive. It's an active gift you give to others. 2. Express genuine appreciation. How often do you tell the people in your life what they mean to you? Don't wait. Send that text. Make that call. Write that note. Appreciation doesn't have to be grand. It just needs to be sincere. 3. Show up fully present. Put down your phone. Look people in the eyes. Give them the gift of your attention. Presence is the simplest way to honor someone's value. John Maxwell said, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." This is a call to action for all of us. Relationships thrive not on knowledge, but on care and compassion. When you prioritize showing care, connections deepen naturally. Oprah Winfrey often reminds us, leadership is about empathy. It is about having the ability to relate to and connect with people for the purpose of inspiring and empowering their lives. While her words focus on leadership, the essence of empathy applies to all relationships. To connect deeply, you must put yourself in someone else's shoes and truly see the world through their eyes. Another action item. Set a goal to have one uninterrupted, meaningful conversation with someone this week. Prepare to ask questions that show you genuinely care about their thoughts and feelings. Your next action item. Reach out to someone today and express your appreciation, or simply listen to their story without interruption. Why do people hurt each other? Here's a question that's haunted humanity for centuries. Why do we hurt the very people we care about? It's often because of unresolved pain within ourselves. Hurt people hurt people. This isn't just a saying, it's a reflection of how emotional wounds manifest outwardly. Gandhi said, "An eye for an eye will make the whole world blind." When we operate from a place of pain, we spread that pain. But when we choose understanding, we begin to heal not just ourselves, but our relationships. Another profound insight comes from Viktor Frankl, who wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This reminds us that while we can't control others' actions, we can control our response. Mother Teresa beautifully said, "If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other." Her words challenge us to see every interaction as an opportunity for compassion rather than conflict. When we remember our shared humanity, we can respond to hurt with grace instead of retaliation. The action here is simple but powerful. When someone hurts you, pause and ask yourself, what pain might they be carrying? This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it creates space for empathy and healing. Another action item: write a letter to someone who has hurt you, even if you never send it. Express your feelings openly, then reflect on what you've learned from the experience. This act of writing can be deeply healing. How much of our happiness depends on others? Let me be clear. You are responsible for your happiness. No one else can fill that role. However, relationships amplify our joy when we're already whole. If you're looking to others to complete you, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. As psychologist Nathaniel Branden said, the first step toward change is awareness. The second step is acceptance. Become aware of where you're outsourcing your happiness. Accept that it's your job to cultivate joy within yourself. Then, let relationships enhance that joy rather than define it. Action item: start a gratitude journal today. Each night, write down 3 things that brought you joy. Notice how many of those things come from within you versus external sources. Albert Schweitzer once said, "Happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it." This highlights the dual nature of happiness in relationships. While it must begin within, it grows exponentially when shared. Eleanor Roosevelt famously stated, "Happiness is not a goal, it is a byproduct of a life well lived." Her words remind us that true happiness comes from purpose, growth, and meaningful relationships, not from chasing fleeting pleasures. Another action item: perform one act of kindness for someone this week. Whether it's a compliment, a helping hand, or a thoughtful gesture, notice how it boosts both their happiness and yours. Why do some relationships last while others fade? Let's face it, relationships take work. But the kind of work matters. It's not about grand gestures, it's about consistent, small acts of love and respect. Relationships fade when we stop prioritizing them. Tony Robbins says, "The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships." So, what's the secret to lasting relationships? It's simple. Invest time, energy, and attention. Communicate openly. Apologize when you're wrong. Celebrate your partner's successes as if they were your own. Another perspective comes from Maya Angelou, who said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Make it your mission to leave people feeling loved, respected, and valued. President Theodore Roosevelt once remarked, "Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care." This echoes the importance of empathy and sincerity in building connections that last. Another action item: create a weekly or monthly tradition with someone you care about. It could be a coffee date, a walk in the park, or a shared hobby. Regular, intentional time together builds lasting bonds. Another action item: revisit a strained relationship and take the first step to mend it. Apologize, extend kindness, or simply open the door to dialogue. Here's your final action item: schedule quality time with someone important to you this week. No distractions, just meaningful connection. Closing thoughts. We've covered a lot today: love, connection, pain, happiness, and the essence of lasting relationships. Here's what I want you to remember. You have the power to transform your relationships starting right now. It's not about perfection, it's about intention. Every small step you take creates a ripple effect. So here's my challenge to you. Choose one action item from today's talk and commit to doing it. Whether it's dismantling barriers to love, listening with your whole heart, practicing gratitude, or scheduling quality time, just take that step. And when you do, watch how your relationships transform. Finally, if you found value in this conversation, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Why? Because every week, we dive into life's biggest questions and give you the tools to grow, connect, and thrive. And if you're inspired, share this video with someone who needs it. Together, we can create a world filled with deeper connections and greater love. Thank you for being here. Let's go out there and make our relationships extraordinary.